Hey baddies, it's your girl Sham and I'm back with another video. If you're new here to my channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you could be a baddie too. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, this will be a quick video about my tonsillectomy update and my update as far as me being sick. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned.
You got me twisted. You got me twisted.
Alright, so first things first, it has officially been over a year since I got my tonsils taken out. I got them taken out at the end of April in 2021. It is currently May 28th, 2022. So it's been like a month and a year. And if you guys have been paying attention recently to my channel, I was posting a bunch of videos complaining about getting recurring throat infections and just being sick. And I told you guys I was going to follow up with my ENT. So this is going to be like a pick-me-up from there. So if you haven't seen those videos of me being sick, I will go ahead and post them right here. You could come back and understand the full dialogue of what's going on. But to give everybody a short, watered-down rendition of what happened, at the end of March, I was super sick. My throat felt super dry. I felt like there was a knot when I was trying to swallow. I went to the express clinic, so not like a primary physician or anything. And they had diagnosed me with a throat infection. Gave me an antibiotic. A week later, I went back because I had developed a cough. I was not feeling better. They took an x-ray, said I was developing pneumonia. So then she put me on a second antibiotic, a steroid, and an inhaler. A week after that, so 2 weeks after I got diagnosed with a throat infection, I went back and was cleared, and they said everything looked great. They didn't see any more infection in my throat. They didn't hear anything in my lungs or anything, and they sent me out the door. A week later, after me being cleared, essentially, my throat was like literally on fire. So I went back to the express clinic, and she pretty much diagnosed me with a second throat infection. And then she put me on a third round of antibiotics. And what I did that day that I went back to the express clinic and they diagnosed me with the second throat infection, I took a photo of my throat so that I could show it to my ENT, because I had said at that point that I was going to follow up with him, because it was just, I was getting irritated because I felt like I took my tonsils out partially because they kept getting infected, and then like I'm getting throat infections instead of the tonsil infections, and it was just kind of like frustrating for me. So I took a picture so that I could show my ENT to try and, like, you know, chop it up with him about what was going on. Well, so fast forward, because this was at the beginning of April when I was diagnosed with the second throat infection. Fast forward about a month, I was finally able to see my ENT. I saw him, I want to say May 8th or May 9th or something like that. He looked at my throat. He was like, everything looks fine. Everything looks like it's been healing up perfectly. I don't see any regrowth tissue or anything like that. He checked my ears and my sinuses and everything and said everything looked great. And I told him, I'm like, well, I keep getting diagnosed with these throat infections. And I showed him a picture of what my throat looked like the second time. And he was like, I don't see an infection here. And I was explaining to him that, like, when I swallowed, it felt like there was like a lump in the side of my throat, and it was really sore and it was really tender and blah blah blah. But looking at it, he said he didn't see an infection. He was like, to be honest, sometimes they just give you an antibiotic because they don't really know what else to do at the express clinics. But he was like, I don't think you should have been on an antibiotic. And so now, kind of thinking about it, that's probably why I ended up way more sick than I should have been. Because if you guys remember, I had a temperature and I was just like down really, really bad. But I feel like that could be attributed to the fact that I was on an antibiotic and shouldn't have been. You know, like, antibiotics have their own side effects, but then, like, I'm sure they have super side effects when you're taking it essentially for no reason. So I'm still not 100% sure. I finally got a primary physician, y'all. I will be going next week on Friday. So if anything changes, I'll do another update video. But I think that's why I ended up with the fever and was just super sick. It was because I was essentially taking an antibiotic and, like, for no reason. But yeah, I think that's it. He pretty much was like, you know, he didn't feel like there was necessarily a reason for me to need to follow up with him. Obviously, he said if I felt the need to, or if anything got worse, that I could follow up with him. But he was like, you know, he didn't really necessarily feel like there was a need for me to follow up with him, because he was like, everything looks fine. And I genuinely trust the ENT a little bit more than I trust the people at the Midwest Express Clinic, because them people, I mean, sometimes you will see an actual like physician at the Express Clinic. Sometimes it's a nurse practitioner. Sometimes it's just a regular nurse. Sometimes it's just somebody in scrubs and you don't know what their title is. And they're like, one time I went to the Express Clinic and it was something on my foot and they didn't know what it was. And they're like, hold on, we have to do some more research. And I'm sure they was on Google, trying to Google what it was on my foot. And it was just, they kept giving me fungal cream for it. Come to find out it was eczema. But anyway, I digress. I said all of that pretty much to say that I genuinely trust the ENT more than the people at the Express Clinic, because number one, he specializes in ear, nose, and throat, versus the Express Clinic people that kind of like do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So yeah, I don't know. He did suggest though, well, not suggest, but he did offer up the idea that I could be suffering from like secondary symptoms of acid reflux. And that's something that I struggled with really bad when the pandemic first started. And it's not as bad anymore, but it's definitely something that I on occasion still struggle with, having really bad heartburn and really bad acid reflux. I try to make sure I'm not eating spicy foods all the time. I don't eat right before bed, blah blah blah, but sometimes I just get really bad heartburn for no reason. So he was saying that sometimes that could affect your throat and it could cause that tenderness, and it could cause a lot of dry feeling and everything like that. So he just kind of told me to kind of pay attention to my body when I'm noticing those symptoms in my throat and see if it has anything to do with acid reflux. But then I also have allergies. I have year-round allergies. It's not summertime shy yet. It's springtime shy. But it's cotton and pollen and all types of stuff flying around. If y'all could just see what it looks like over by my grandma's house. So it's a lot of things that are going on that I think could be affecting my throat. The changing seasons usually gets me really bad. The pollen in the air, the rain, the mold, like it's all bad. But he just told me to kind of pay attention to my symptoms to see like if I'm having a really bad allergy flare up and then I get sick, or if it's like really bad heartburn and then my throat feels funny. And so I've been trying to do that, and I've been trying to make sure that I stay hydrated. I need to actually turn my humidifier back on, because when I wake up in the morning, I'll drink a bottle of water right before bed, and I'll wake up in the morning and it'll be like, I haven't had water in 20 days. Like, it's bad. So just the struggles of my life, but according to my ENT, everything is fine. My tonsils are not growing back or anything funny. It healed over very well. There's no problems, no issues. So yeah, I guess that's all I have for you guys, unless I get any more information. So sorry it wasn't a big conclusive, this is what was wrong and this is what I need to do, but sometimes it is what it is in the United States medical field. But that is all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video and you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also click the bell notification so that you get notified when I post every single Sunday at 5 p.m. Give me a big thumbs up if you like this type of content. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about my medical experience, you're more than welcome to leave your questions down in the comment section. I will go ahead and say right now, I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not anything of the sort. So if you have any specific questions about something specific that you have going on, I always recommend that you go talk to your doctor about it first. But I can give you my best advice based on my personal experience. While you're down there, make sure you click that link in my description so that you can listen to my music. Follow me on social media at Sham the Baddest. And other than that, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.